Okay, so this is the end product. It is basically fabric that is looped on both ends, and then it's on this bar. You just like slip it onto one of those like workout bars that you can put in between like a door space. So I'll explain kind of how to do it, but just so you can kind of get an idea. And then basically when you hang it up, you can sit in it, you can rock in it, you can sway in it during labor. So that's kind of the point of it. The ends of it are basically, it's like a folded about 4 inches, so it kind of has room to give when you slip it on. And it is about 6 feet long. And then you can see here, the folded part is basically just, I just go over it like over and over and over. My old sewing machine was digital and it used to work good, but it got kind of messy. So there's a certain kind of, I can't think of the name, certain kind of thread that to put in the bobbin. You don't have to put it in the top part, but the bobbin part. So that way it gives it that stretch, more give to it. But it's usually about 4 lines or 4, I guess 4 strips. I usually count 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's usually like when I start folding it over. I fold it like, or I sew on like the fifth one over. So I'll explain to you. So this one is a gray one that I had. So I would basically take it and fold it in half. So I would fold one side over here. This is a terrible video, but I'm gonna try to squeeze this in. You kind of want to have them cut it, you know, as straight as possible, but sometimes that's hard. So then you'll fold it one side in halfway and then the other side in halfway. So it's straight across, and then you'll line it up. I usually line it about 4 inches over. I'll turn it over like this, and then I will pin it. So I'll kind of make sure that everything's straightened, everything's flat. And so I have about 4 strips, 1, 2, 3, 4. And
I'll have it.
Usually, sometimes depending on if the fabric's lined up or not, I usually have to maybe go to the 5th one just to have enough room. But I usually do about 4 inches right here. So
I'll have that one.
4 inches on each side. So I'm basically gonna loop this. I'll pull this back. So I'll take it down so it's about like this, and I'll pull this back and straighten it across.
Yeah, you can have one.
And then I'll pin this all the way across, making sure that everything's even. And then I'll just, so see, this one's kind of uneven, so I'm gonna have to probably cut the end and make it even so it pulls across. 1, 2, 3, 4, usually about 4 strips. Just to give it enough, like maybe a couple inches to go through I mean, it's pretty stretchy, so. And then I just pin it, and then I go down and make sure it's aligned with the other side. So these two have to match up, these two things, and you'll kind of know what I mean. They have to match up like this on both sides, and then I go across it. So I'll just go zigzag, or I'll go straight. I'll go actually down all the way to the end, around, up, in the middle, down, and then I'll do zigzag across. So I just make it really secure. This held me, and I was 200 pounds when I was delivering with all my babies. So anyhow, if that makes sense. And then I would come over here, I would line it up, and I would do the same thing on this end. Sorry, this is so long. And I would basically go half and half. So I would fold over half of it here, same thing, half of it here. Kind of get the idea, and then just straighten it out so it's half and half on both sides evenly, and then I would fold it in again towards the open part of the fabric. So I'd fold it in, and then I would sew the same way. So I would lay it flat, and then I would pin it. I would open this up all the way across, match it up on both sides so it's matched up, and then I would pin that, and then I would sew down up and down, up and down, up and down, usually like 4 times. And then I'll reinforce it in the middle, so like where this opening is, when it's flat, it goes across this flat obviously, but I would reinforce it just across this opening so that, you know, for whatever reason, if there's pull on this side or this side, then it's reinforced right here. So hopefully that makes sense. I always try to open up the flap and do it on this thread so I can follow it all the way across on both sides. So if you have any questions, let me know. That basically creates 2 loops on each end, and then once you bring them together, you'll bring this loop and this loop. So it'll be 2 loops hanging onto the bar. So basically the bar will go across inside each loop. So hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know and I can explain to you. I could even come over and show you, or I can, actually what I'm gonna need to do is drop off the thread to you. The poly, I can't remember what it's called. It's a certain kind of thread that helps. So I appreciate it so much. If you have any questions, let me know.